Hey there, I'm James Burnham, and today I'm going to react to an article that my team brought to me, and it's from BBC talking about why it's okay to let friendships die out. BBC wrote this article in response, I'm sure, to many people re-emerging, getting back into social life. We're allowed to go to concerts in certain places. I mean, over the world, it's different, but it seems like everyone's coming out of the cocoon that we've been hiding in, and people are uncomfortable with the fact that during the isolation of COVID, some of their friends they completely lost touch with. And there's also some trepidation. They talk about the psychology of this isolation and how we've been alone and separated. And there is a transition back into this social atmosphere where we allow people in, but we've been bombarded with a mentality of stay safe, stay by yourself, isolate. And people are struggling with this transition back to what we were considering normal previous to COVID. So when that situation hits, this article, it's timely. It's sensitive to those people that are feeling that pain and wondering, what do I do? And there's friends that obviously you lost contact with maybe because you weren't connecting with them every day in your work environment or whatever that may be. I really like how they address the situation of COVID and the problems that people are facing and how to get your mindset to acknowledge, hey man, this is something that is hitting me. And what do I do? These are good things to ask yourself. It's an emotional awareness to say, yeah, you know what? Maybe I am struggling to be social again because I don't want to be social with these people. I've lost them out of my life and my gut is telling me I don't want to reconnect. And so if that's the case, as the article suggests, that's okay. You can let that go. The space has told you. If they haven't reached out to you either, you're probably both feeling the same way. You don't have to feel guilty about it. At the most, you could just reach out and say, hey man, missed, developing a deeper relationship with you. Good luck going forward. That's what they suggest as a possible alternative to saying, hey, let's reconnect if you don't want to. Or just ignore it, honestly, and just move on and don't worry about it. I think we spend a lot of time obsessing and worrying about little things. To me, this article is well written, timely. It is touching on things that are hitting a number of people that have been in deep isolation during COVID. And these are the kind of mindset mentalities that will allow them to address the angst that they may feel in re-emerging and becoming social. So good article in that sense. And I think it's important for us to be able to listen to that and see that, hey, there's a lot of people that are in this situation and struggling. This is my understanding of the article. This is why I think it's valuable. And now I want to tell you what my take of it is as a person in my situation, the way I dealt with COVID. And frankly, I lived in Utah when COVID hit. And Utah, I don't know the rules of every country and every state and every place in the world. But I do know that Utah was one of the most lax when it came to enforcing COVID isolation. And I personally was very, very open to wearing a mask in any public place that required it, wearing a mask around people that were concerned about COVID, that were at health risk. I was very connected to my aunt. She's in her 90s, and I was visiting her very frequently, at least weekly, and I wanted to make sure she was safe because I don't want to give her COVID. So I would wear a mask in those situations, but I was in isolation myself and alone, and it was more mentally detrimental to me to think of staying alone and having no social contact than getting out. And so I went out and I started running in the mountains and formed a hiking group with my friends, and we would get out and hike, and we'd get shamed for not wearing masks on a hike. And I get that people want to do that, and that's fine. But for me, the risk of my life in complete isolation, the detriment that that would have to me, the mental toll that it would have on me was far greater than my concern about what COVID could do to me. I'm in good health, a very low risk candidate for anything bad, and I was willing to assume that risk because frankly, my drive on the freeway has a greater risk of killing me than COVID with my health. The point of what I'm trying to say is my approach to this whole thing was very different. the reemergence of social life, to me, was exciting and met with open arms. And I'm like, thank God we can have interaction with humans again in a real place. I'm not struggling with the reservations and the fear that was piled upon us through the media about this disease that was killing so many. Our approach has been to isolate. Our approach has been to stay alone by ourselves to survive. And frankly, I think it's the wrong approach. My issue with this article, not that I have an issue, I actually think it's good. But there's always a counter argument, right? And so when you hear stuff, what I want to recognize is that it is a valid article. It is needed. However, there's another side of this, which is get up, get out there, face this world, shrug this off. If this is something that is so triggering to you that you are struggling to get out and face the world, toughen up. Deal with your health. If you're overweight and scared, fix that. Take initiative. Don't hide. Come at this problem. Reverse the fear. Take this on as a challenge. Don't shelter yourself and act like you are not strong enough to face this. If you're breathing, you are. Don't hide. And so my feeling is yes, we need that space to recognize that we're scared, that we're reemerging, that we're saying, hey, you know what? I need to do this, but it's going to be hard for me. That's a comforting, safe place to recognize all that. And then we also need, and in my mind, this is kind of that feminine, it's okay thing, but there's also a need for the masculine, which is get off your ass, quit being scared, face the real issue. Are you overweight and scared of dying? Lose the weight. We know how to do that. It is up to you. And there are ways to manage it. And get healthy. And then you can be moving through this like a common cold and not worry about it anymore. Not obsess over the morbidity rates, which are really significantly lower than other pandemics that have killed people in masses. Ebola, smallpox, polio, all of these types of diseases that we've solved and dealt with have had huge death rates that have just been devastating to communities. The death rates are way beyond what we would like. If you're healthy, you're at greater risk driving down the freeway to get to work than you are of dying from COVID. And so I would say, in response to this, get up, take care of yourself, get out there, quit worrying. This is not something that you need to obsess over anymore. I took that away from friendships. If your friendships fade, right? But your friendships are fading out of fear. Your friendships are fading because you're terrified of something that has been created, and you just look at the statistics, you analyze the reality of that, and you say to yourself, I am being scared of something that is so unlikely to happen to me. I need to shed this trauma and let it go. That's what I'm saying. And your friends, well, your friends are your friends. Don't worry about it. That's a first world problem. Who cares if you quit having contact with somebody? Come back to it. Own your space. Don't be so concerned. Don't be so frightened and timid. Get strong. Use this to build yourself and step out into the world again. That's what I would say in response to this article. It's nice, it's soft, it's timely, and I want strength to come with it to whip us back into shape and be the people we know we can be, not timid, scared, hiding people. I'm James Burnham. Thanks for watching me. I got another video coming up where I react to The Bachelor. This is one show that I despise, so I'll probably react poorly. Thanks for joining me. Like, subscribe, comment. I'd love to hear from you. I'm James Burnham.